Just so you know, Ryan is sometimes an asshole. I'm not an asshole.
Oh,
I'm divisive.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm divisive. So they tell me you're not an asshole, but you're an asshole. Like people think you're an asshole, and I think you're fucking
divisive and asshole is the same thing.
Well, I like mine better.
I don't go out of my way to stir shit. He does.
Matt is very confident.
I'm cocky. No, I'm cocky.
Dude, cocky is you can't back it up. You can fucking back it up.
No, cocky is you can back it up. Arrogance. Okay. Here's my difference between cocky and arrogance. LeBron James is arrogant. And he's got that, I'm the greatest, pound my chest.
Yeah.
He's
pretty
arrogant.
fucking good, though.
Okay, he is, but he's arrogant. I don't like the attitude that comes with it. Kobe and Jordan were cocky. They made the shot and then they smiled in their face, just tongue out. Yeah. It was this play. It was, I'm the best, but
they fucking loved it.
Yeah, and in this more playful way. Whereas Jordan or LeBron is in this, I'm a dick way.
Luke, bring up the definition of cocky.
Listen, I'm just saying that's how I separate.
Are we starting?
We're recording.
Okay.
Hell yes.
Just how I separate the
From the time we stepped in here, I knew we'd get some gems
hit the
out of
fucking
him.
thing so we can really talk.
No, wait a minute. Bring up the definition of cocky, Luke.
Oh shit! Hold on, I changed the source. Give me that.
God,
give me that.
Damn it.
Hold on, I had a meeting in here. Here we go. This one. Ah, fuck. Maybe that one.
You can call it playful arrogant instead if you want.
Is this Friday?
Seriously?
I didn't even know I had TV. How the fuck do I have TV? It's like built in now. You don't even got to buy it. There ain't no TV in here.
Oh,
there we go.
Is.
All right.
Conceited or arrogant, especially in a bold or impotent way. Impudent way.
Well,
impudent. What the fuck does impudent mean?
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to be careful what I say between you two because I have to remain the.
Look at the nice sub. Guy. There's your Altera.
Shooting a sub half-minute group can be challenging.
So, this guy, this guy bought like a $13,000 package from them. Brought it to my house. They had guaranteed. It was supposed to be quarter-minute guarantee. First group out of it was a 33 nozzler. First group out of it, I was shooting it, was with their ammo, 2.5 inches.
Fuck. Hit the button.
We're going to bring up our fucking love of carbon barrels.
Hit the button.
No.
Welcome to the Shoot to Hunt podcast with your host, Ryan Avery, a registered Democrat who loves the 6.5 Creedmoor. And the Jacob O'Shaney, his beard is made of the gypsy pubes. But together, they make the number 4 podcast in all of the US and they a great success. It is nice.
It was too much good shit already. We had to hit fucking record so we know, like, oh, we're live.
Yeah, and I last couple weeks ago.
Very nice.
You a Borat guy?
Well, who isn't?
Nice. You did all right with the voice. He's the fucking expert.
All right.
Let's see one more.
No, that's all I got.
I want to talk before we jump into all this other shit. We have Matthew Alwine.
Matthew, really? What's your middle name?
What do you want? My social security number too?
Oh, do you not have do you have a middle name?
I don't remember it right now.
You don't remember?
It's Corey.
Cocky.
That's not bad. Prefer Matt though. Prefer Matt.
Cocky.
Yeah,
Alwine.
MC Alwine. Matthew Cocky Alwine.
Okay. Cocky. We were just talking about the definition of cocky.
Hey, I wanted to talk a little bit about your pregame ritual. I got to witness.
What?
Which one?
We went and shot
the private one or the public one?
No. This is no. He said everything's on the table. That's what he said before we started. So we went down and me and Tanya shot an NRL Hunter with John and Matt. And Matt has a interesting music selection. It's very quirky. Can you kind of go into your hit list?
I'm after the Tay-Tay also.
It's like your pump up music.
Yeah, I just have everyone has a pump up list.
Yeah, but yours is eclectic.
Oh yeah, it's weird. I don't know what makes a song on the list.
So, dude, we went from driving in. It's about 30-minute drive that morning. 2 mornings in a row. And the first morning we went from country. We had some R&B. We had some rap. We had some.
It's a little bit of everything.
Whatever Tanya's song you forgot about. Hate Me. What the fuck's the name of that? Purple.
Hate Me.
October, Blue October.
Great
Dude,
song.
You're kind of like Jake. The reason I'm kind of connecting the dots here is Jake listens to all kinds of.
There's something about you'll hear a song and it doesn't matter who the fuck sings it. There's something about a song that triggers something emotionally inside you, and you know that, like if we're squatting, if we're doing like 4 sets of 6, like heavy squat, and there's 275, right, and I walk up to it, like I have to hit the next button until that song hits.
Yeah,
and then I'm ready. I don't hear the music when I'm squatting. I hear it to get the bar off the fucking rack and start.
Well, we never really got through a song with Matt. It was like the initial chorus, and then boom, he's on to the next.
Because once it starts, like the emotions are, it's done.
I'm just like summoning all these great emotions into one pregame ritual to not miss targets.
Nice.
And the first day, pre-shooting, there was a lot of hate in the music. The second day, there was a lot of confidence in the music.
Well, I bet you did well on the first day, huh? Did you do well day one?
Yeah, we did pretty good.
So if you're sitting good, like if you're not maxing, right? If you see 315 on the bar, I'm gonna fuck that up. It doesn't have to hit that hard. But if you're doing bad on day one and you need to do better on day 2, you got to fuck it up with the music.
Yeah, I was summoning a little bit of anger to get me going, and then day 2, I was like, we're already there.
There you go.
Let's just keep it rolling.
I like it.
I didn't see that.
Could be Tay-Tay, could be Britney Spears.
I might make like a mixtape and sell it to shooters. Be like, this is what'll get you going.
This is what fucking winners do.
The all-wine mixtape.
It might sell.
Well, I was saying he needs to get a red shirt like Tiger did when he was in the lead. Last day of the golfing.
He wore a red shirt.
He fucking wore a red shirt to know that he was fucking winning.
And that could be something. It could be
I got that. My shooter jersey, I don't ever wear it day 1. And day 2, I only wear it underneath something else. It doesn't come out until I won. It's like, I feel like wearing a jersey before you've won anything.
Yeah.
Pretty arrogant.
Well, that's what we did. So we're fucking arrogant.
You guys talking about your Nerf gun shoot?
Yeah, man. We talking shit. It was fun.
Did you tell him what I said?
I don't remember.
We went to have fun. In fact, we're gonna bring this shit up about the whole. We went to have fun.
We never been there.
Yeah, you asked me about what I thought of that paint job.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, yeah, if you guys were like winning shoots, you can pull that off.
Fuck yeah.
But if you're rolling in and get last place,
it has to be one end of the spectrum or the other. You can't be in the middle. It could be like, I fucking suck, or I'm gonna fucking win.
This motherfucker.
One or the other. On the side of his dude, so it says wetter is better. It's the fucking Super Soaker slogan.
No, yours says that.
Mine is wetter is better. Yours is Nerf or nothing.
Mine says Nerf or nothing.
Yes. That's badass.
Well, next year when we win it, we'll have the right color.
Perfect.
There you go.
I want to talk to you a little bit about, you came from bow hunting side. You jumped into the comp gun shit late.
Mm-hmm.
What's the correlation? You were really good at shooting a bow. You are really good at shooting a bow. And you're really good at shooting comp guns. Do you generally see that crossover?
No, I don't think there's many other people that have tried it, like crossover wise. I think so. I think if you aim well, you aim well. The only other person I can think of that has done really well on both is Kevin Wilkie. He's at Hoyt, pro archer, and he's doing pretty good at rifle shoots now.
Yeah, he won the production when we were there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so he's crossover. But I think if you aim well, you aim. I won a slingshot competition one time. I mean, like, I think you. Yeah.
Every time I go pee, I win.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
So what made you switch over? Are you just getting tired of fucking bows because they are kind of gay?
Yeah, that must have been it. No, Oh, Pinch talked me into it.
Did he?
Yeah. He's like, you got to try it. Well, he came to archery shoot with me one time, and he did good. He won. He got second or third, I think. Big shoot, 1,000 guys there, one of those Northwest Mountain Challenges. And he, I think he got second or third in the bow hunter division. It's like, man, you can shoot. He's like, you need to come try rifle. You'd be good at it too. I don't know. And eventually I gave it a go.
The correlation is there. If you can
seems to be
eye-hand coordination, if you can shoot.
Yeah.
Interesting.
One of my questions is actually, so looking from the outside in to the PRS competition shooting community, I know the amount of money that goes into rifles and ammo and so on, and the amount of effort it takes to shoot well and shoot well consistently. The real question is, why the fuck do you still do this? Like after you reach the top, you know how much money and time you have to invest to stay at the top. Like you're not getting paid to do it. So what the fuck, what is in it for you to continue shooting today? Being Matt Alwine, I could walk in and win an NRL Hunter competition with a fucking factory. What are you shooting now? Savage?
Yeah.
Factory Savage rifle out of the box. I'm going to come in. I'm going to fuck it. Why do you still get up and go to these competitions?
probably 100% ego. I mean, right?
You just want to continue to be the best?
Yeah, exactly. Like that. I love to compete. And it's the only, besides archery, it's the only thing I'm good at. So, I watch every competition thing I can see. Like I watch golf, football, like all these different Netflix things, F1 racing, like anything competition wise, I love. I just suck at everything else. So shooting's where I got to get it from.
So your high is when you're sitting up on the winner stage.
Oh, yeah.
You won it. First, second, third don't matter? Or is it only when you get first?
It depends on the match and what you're at. NRL Hunter, it's only first. PRS, like, it's hard to get on the podium. So usually I'm pretty... Initially, I'll be happy that I'm on the podium, and then I'll start replaying everything like, oh, crap, if I didn't screw that up.
You still doing all your own loading and everything, too?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Only because I have to.
No one's ever reached out to you be like, hey, Matt Alwine, you're a badass. We're going to fucking load all your ammo for you.
Nah, I hit up these one guys once, and they were like, yeah, we don't work with competition shooters.
Fucking competition shooters are cheap as fuck. All of you out there are only looking for a deal.
And we're making last minute. I can't tell you how many times I've switched guns, switched ammo, switched something the day before a match. They're just not.
What is it like if you take Hornady match? Is it just that extreme spread that's not good enough? You get a little vertical dispersion?
No, it's pretty good. I guys win with that stuff. I mean,
Aaron Davidson just told us that they're selling Gunworks rifles now with box ammo because it's that good.
Yeah. No, I'm cheap. If Hornady wants to give me ammo, I'd probably shoot it.
I gotta grab this for it. It fucking drives me crazy.
So it's on par. It's just the cost is the difference.
Yeah, and you can't make changes to it, like
low debit.
Yeah, I mean I just shot this match in Indiana. Just got home from yesterday. I saw right beforehand it was supposed to be thunder showers, wet, and I'm like, ooh, and hot. Are we have pressure issues? So I went and dumped my load way down. I was loading the day before. It pulled, I don't know, 80 feet a second out of my load before I went, just to make sure there wasn't any chance of pressure issues. So, I mean, changes last minute. Like, you can't do that with factory ammo, which you'll probably be fine with factory ammo, but maybe not. I've seen factory ammo pressure out lots.
I have too.
Yeah.
Especially some of that.
Well, especially through the whole COVID era, there was a lot of factory ammo manufacturers that were moving powders around because they couldn't get what they needed.
Right. Blending shit.
Yeah, blending shit. Yeah. Went into quite they were just trying to hit a pressure curve there. And
and lot to lot. Like, you make it a different. I mean, even my own stuff, lot to lot. I can't tell you how many times I've had a load that I loved and I'd switch bolt lots and never mind, don't love it anymore type thing. So, yeah, just keeping up with it all. Maintaining control of it all, I guess, is the only reason. Yeah.
And last minute adjustments.
Oh, yeah. So many last minute adjustments.
So
better brass. Better brass to me would probably be better brass comes with more consistency, maybe higher pressure, more velocity.
Yeah. That Hornady. I mean, I wouldn't be reloading Hornady brass. I'd shoot the ammo, but I'd leave the brass on the ground probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we were shooting that match, I left a lot of that.
I hate guys that do that brass. Because then my brass ends up in your brass and I got to sort through your brass.
But mine was silver. You'd easily known it.
Oh, that was bad.
Hey, that gun shot it well.
It did.
NRL Hunter PRS. What do you like more and why?
NRL Hunter. I'm an NRL Hunter shooter now. I shoot PRS still, but I like to think I'm an NRL Hunter guy now for sure. It's just practical for what I do for hunting for other guys. You came and shot it with a hunting gun. Yep. Like, you had fun. You did decent. If you'd have come to a PRS match with your hunting gun and your stuff, you would have been wrecked.
Destroyed.
Yeah. And so I think the curve to get into it is a lot smaller for guys, and I like that. And I'm probably better at it than PRS, so that probably helps me.
Because of all like the setup, or what do you mean you're better at? Which parts of it?
I think it's just a mesh of, like, I've shot enough PRS that I have good shooting fundamentals, generally know how to shoot, and then the glassing experience that I have from hunting since I was 7-8 years old and spent all that time behind binoculars that you can't teach as well. So finding targets, just working all the equations quick. I'm generally, I think, better at that than I am just monkey see, monkey do a PRS. Because PRS, you watch 10 guys in front of you do the same thing. Last guy off, hey, what was your wind call? Hope he doesn't lie to you. Give it a go. Whereas NRL Hunter, you're running over the hill, you're by yourself, you're on your own. Let's sort this out. And I think pretty good on my feet, I think. Yeah. Sometimes, the couple times John and I have shot together teams, I think we've almost done worse because they're like, hey, what do you do? Hey, what do you do? When we both just run our own game, we'd be fine.
Yeah. And then you guys had a mix up on what you thought you saw, and it was kind of reverse.
Yeah.
The coolest thing at NRL Hunter, that I went and shot skills, me and Tanya shot skills, so you can go up and watch them, and they can actually help you. But you have 6 minutes as a team, correct? And they had to find these 2 targets, and one was in the shade, super hard as little pig.
Sun rising behind it.
Yeah, fucking hard to see. When they found the target, and they had 2 positions they had to shoot from, they both had to shoot. There was 1:30 on the clock, and they fucking cleaned it.
We had to shoot. John had to get in the first position, shoot the one target, which is maybe 550, 600 yards, and then the second target, which is 700, 800 yards. And then he had to shoot both those. He had to move positions, reset up, shoot both those. He had to get out of the way, clear his gun. I had to get in the first position, shoot the first target, shoot the second target, get the second position, shoot the first target, shoot the second target. And it was, it took us 5 or 4.5 minutes to find that second target. And it was tighter than I wanted.
Oh, I'd have bet $1,000 they wouldn't clean that. Yeah. They fucking cleaned it with like 6 seconds left or something like that.
Yeah. That actually brings up a good point though. So for those of us that really suck at shooting like Ryan Avery, you're about to get into NRL Hunter, and you have a budget and you got some money to spend, right? You don't have any gear. You're all fresh to the scene. You just want to give it a go. What do you spend your money on?
Oh boy, you got to have a good tripod. Like that's a must.
Like 2 vets is a good choice for a budget choice, or what would be a budget choice?
Like what would you, like bare bones, would you use Leo Photo, 2 vets, or do you have to go to really right stuff or something that level?
Great question.
I think it's it's a good question because RRS is like here, 2 vets is somewhere in the middle, and we carry like slick stuff. And
yeah, I mean, like a 2 vets or Leo Photo, like that'll get you going. You probably spend $500 on a tripod that get you going, but you got to have something you can shoot, you can glass off of, and something you can shoot off of decently.
What is the difference between jumping to that really right stuff that makes it so much more expensive? Is the worth there? Is it fucking that much better, or what's the deal?
I can't explain it necessarily. They function better. Like the Leo Photo, whatever, they're fine as long as they're working, but all of a sudden they'll gum up, something will stick really right stuff.
Right when you need it.
Exactly. Yeah.
You basically just described a Vesper action.
Sure.
Or a Tika.
Running perfectly. You just can't explain it. It just fucking works. It just fucking works.
Bats are the best, the 700s.
As you were asking earlier about what makes it expensive. It just fucking works.
Damn, I like having you here, Matt.
So we got through tripod. We still got a long ways to go on this list.
Yeah, hit it.
Okay, so you're gonna need. You're probably you want a ballistic solver in your bino, ideally. If you want to cut some corners, have your binos and a rangefinder with a ballistic solver separately. Or if you want to run hard dope, you can try to. It's going to be, you're setting yourself up for failure. You go out there and do decent with a rangefinder and hard dope, but ideally something with a solver.
Okay.
In it is
what's your budget choice there? A SIG or?
EL range.
Yeah, that's not a budget fucking choice.
That's what 90
for just the rangefinder or the bino with. Well,
you just said you want bino with rangefinder and ballistic calculator.
Yeah, you got to give us budget and then your choice.
Yes,
probably those SIG 6Ks. I haven't played with them yet. The SIG 10K is an amazing solver, but they're so blue to look through, you probably won't find the targets.
Unusable.
So I do find them fairly unusable. But that 6K, I think, is going to be the happy medium on that. I hate to say it. The Vortex Furies for a budget, like you're cheap already going in this. You probably got a Vortex scope on, so you might as well take the Fury, I guess. They're on a budget though. They're not bad.
Okay.
Whatever rifle you want to go with. I mean, the rifle's not going to make.
We went budget optics. What is your choice?
The swirls right now, I think. EL range.
You've vetted out that solver pretty good. What's your max yardage for that solver?
I mean, I don't think I've taken over like maybe 1,300 or something, because we don't shoot past that.
Okay.
For NRL Hunter.
So definitely for hunting all the way.
It's been, I've compared it to my Kessler applied ballistics, and it's right on all the way out.
Money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen more than a 10th difference between it and my Kestrel in any
I
condition.
keep hearing there's a difference, but for mine out to 1,800 yards with the Kestrel, the only downside of that is the laser's not as strong as like the Fury or the 10K or the new Revics. Those lasers are better.
So I carry 10Ks as a backup because I lost a match one time because I had a rangefinder go down. So I always have, and generally if I put all the same data in my Kestrel, those 10Ks and my Swaros at 1,200 yards, I'll be within a click.
Really?
And maybe
1/10 of a mil.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'll do a little tweaking to get that on. Like I want them to read the exact same.
Yeah.
But they're,
between the two of you saying that it's money and you're both using them in the field and everything else, I think that's enough.
Yeah. And John, most guys are using those. You know, I was using the Zeiss, LRFs or whatever. John was using those. And then we played with the Leicas. The Leicas are good. They're just slow. I feel like you're wasting 5
Really
seconds
slow.
a stage at least.
To come up with the solution.
Exactly.
Yeah, the Furies are slow.
Yeah, so I don't love that, but again, you're getting into it.
Yeah, you're
You're
just
going to be
getting
slow
in.
in a lot of ways. So
The Zeiss rangefinder is a much better laser than the Swirl. The problem with Zeiss is I had to send it back 3 fucking times.
Really?
I think it's a good setup. It's just I think the Swirl's more durable.
yeah, I've been having good luck with them. I think the beam divergence seems a little better on the Swirl over the Zeiss for sure too.
For the factory class, what factory rifle brand do you see predominantly?
Tikas are doing well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of options out there now, though, that fit into what they call factory and NRL Hunter that are, you know, like that fierce in the chassis. The Christians, I'll take a chassis any day. I want an adjustable cheek piece. Contrary to what Aaron Davidson would say, there are some guys out there who can shoot who are okay with an adjustable cheek piece.
What if Unknown had a chassis and a barrel and the Vesper, for example? Does that make it? Is it then a factory rifle?
No, you got to be selling a lot.
I think 5,000 of them.
Yeah,
you have to sell 5,000 a year.
The manufacturer has to sell 5,000 rifles a year for it to work.
correct.
Okay, yeah,
It's a lot. You're
Gotcha.
not. Yeah, but there are, you know, a handful of guns out there in a chassis that I think I like that for an option. That
There's a
being
Bergara
said,
too, huh?
Exactly.
Bergara,
Yeah, Bergara's got
I think that's what Wilkie used.
Kevin's shooting one. Yep.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm shooting the Savage Carbon Tactical when I shoot factory, and it's just got a plastic piece that clicks in and out just to change your cheek riser a little bit, but it's just a Tupperware stock. And it can be hard to shoot in some elevated off tripod positions type stuff, but that gun shoots really well. So I don't think if you know how to shoot, get a decent gun, like you're going to be fine. NRL Hunter, we're not shooting tiny targets. You know, it's realistic hunting type shots. Now it might be from an awkward position and you don't know the yardage to start with and you don't know where the target is to start with. So there's a lot of other things that factor in, but you don't have to have a quarter MOA gun to go out there and do good at it, you know.
Nice.
That raccoon was a pain in the ass because of his position.
Exactly. Yeah, that raccoon's not that hard to shoot if you're just laying down prone, but you're down in that goalie trying to figure out how to get tight enough. He's an 800-yard raccoon, and you're like, oh, this is not as easy as I thought it might be.
It was, not to get off course, but it was I had more fun than I thought I would. Like, I'm definitely probably going to shoot 2 weeks or next week or whenever that is in Oklahoma.
I got to figure out if I can go to that.
Yeah, you got to come try to beat me in production because I'm going to beat your ass.
I'm sure you will.
Is he that's cocky. Or is that arrogant?
I don't know. Wait, you or me?
I want you to go just so you can beat me.
Yeah, actually, that's opposite because he's already a winner and you're not.
We were talking about this last night. He's like, scoreboard, motherfucker.
Yeah. Huh. I don't even have to go to those. I'm so good.
That's
dude,
amazing.
Dude, we got to have.
I
He's
just
got to
keep
shoot
talking
some
that
comps.
shit. I suck at shooting, just like that sticker says right there.
Okay, so I also want to. We through binoculars. We're good. Oh, you also you shot teams? Would you usually carry a pair of 15s? Because that's what you're doing.
No, I wouldn't normally, but that's what saved us on that stage where we couldn't find that pig. We were shooting teams, so we could carry some extra gear. We threw a set of 15s in, and that's what found that. Which, again, that pig would be easy to find if the sun wasn't directly behind him right there.
And this is a technique thing that I wanted to ask you because I saw some guys had their binos hooked to a freaking actual to
their tripod.
Their tripod. They were actually physically connected. You guys just use a rear bag with a tack table. Is that how you just generally always do it?
Yeah, and that's how I always glass generally. Like I'm not.
Well, I saw when you had to use that tack table for a rear support, it's a lot faster than if the binos are connected.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
I like having that tack table on there. Yeah. One less thing to click in, click out, whatever. You see guys a lot of time then, or even if they're using their tripod for some kind of rear support just off the leg or something, a lot of times they'll disconnect it so their binos don't fall off or whatever. So you're burning a couple seconds getting that off of there. And I mean, there's probably 75% of stages I finish and I got 30 seconds left. It's not a big deal. But those couple that you finish with 3 seconds left, you're real glad you didn't burn a couple. And then you hear that all the time with me and John shooting. People are like, oh man, you got a ton of time to spare. You ran that so fast. Well, we're doing the stuff we can do fast, all of it as fast as we can to have spare time for something to go wrong, not finding a target, magazine jam, dud round, something not feed. You know, you just never know. Crap goes wrong all the time.
Which rear bag do you suggest?
I'd shoot that medium game changer with sand. I like sand. And then I carry a big, like the OG with standard fill also. Because there'll be a lot of times where you got to get above some tall grass or something. And I have that MDT triple pull bipod. So I'll do like a medium height on it with both bags in the rear. So I'm still in a prone position, but I'm, you know, a foot, 18 inches off the ground, something like that.
On the bipods, the budget version would be?
I don't even know.
I don't think there's a budget version of that bipod.
God dang, because it's not a cheap version.
No,
the
that hatch bipod. They're out of Idaho. I don't know much about them, but they're $400 instead of $1,000.
Yeah.
Like that's the budget version. But the most, an extremely adjustable bipod will get you more points in NRL Hunter than anything else. We were joking about it at this Indiana match. A guy's like, man, if I could just spend $1,000 to be better at this. About the only spot that you can go buy points, I think, is getting a good bipod and learning how to use it.
It's when we were shooting that match, I could borrow stuff from them, and I'd every other fucking stop and be like, "Give me your triple pull."
What did we get? Double pulls?
Double pulls. I went and bought a triple pull that night.
Shit.
I brought it in here. Remember, I showed you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, there's so many times where you got to get up 3 feet off the ground, something like that, to go over a log, to go over brush, to go over something. And you just run that triple pull all the way out. You grab your tripod for rear support, and away you go. I mean, we use that half the stages in NRL.
Was it 2 pounds?
Yeah.
Because you guys are...
When I'm designing an NRL Hunter gun, like putting everything on the scale to make weight, 12 pounds or 16 pounds, depending on division, the first thing I put on the scale is my triple pull, and then I build around it.
Because it's happening no matter what.
He's got them pulled up.
What do you got for weight there on that triple pull? Well, first, it's $999.95. Damn it.
$1,000, buddy.
Maybe there's like a spec section.
What if you can't afford a triple pull, what's the next best option to be able to shoot those matches?
Well, I think that hatch is a decent option. It goes super long like that. But 21 ounces on that triple pull. You use your tripod. You clip into your tripod, you shoot off your bag on your tripod. There's some guys that shoot off a tripod really well, and they get away without having them. I don't shoot that good off a tripod.
2 tripods.
So
I see we see PRS guys in pictures doing all kinds of shit.
He carries 2 tripods.
I used that in probably 5 stages at this Indiana match last weekend. They had hard targets, and you had to be tripod height, not triple pull height. It wasn't tall enough. There were probably 5 stages, and I noticed that. I reach in my pack to pull out a second tripod, and RO would go, what the... Like, they'd never seen some idiot do this before. Clink, 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 set up my front tripod. Clink, 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 set up my rear tripod. Boom, boom, boom.
Is that included in your weight?
Nope.
No,
It's not.
Nope.
How are you doing that? What's your setup with the double tripods when you're shooting off them?
So my front one's a little smaller. It's that Leopold 420, I think it is. Pretty small. It's what I carry in the backcountry with me and stuff when I'm hunting. I'll just run that out full length, which is almost chest height. Clip my gun in on the front to that. Grab my really right stuff, extend it all the way out, and then shoot off a leg.
Is it like the, what's that really right stuff head? Is it the anvil?
No, I don't have I have the standard head, but I'm not using the head in that situation anyways. I'm just using the leg of the tripod.
You're holding your...
He said the RRS one is in the back.
How are you holding the front then?
Yeah, on the Leopold one, it's clipped in. Yeah, it's just their standard little ball head.
Is it like it's
Arca pick?
Yeah.
Arca.
Okay, that's what I mean. Yeah. You're clicking into an Arca.
Yep.
And you're just sitting on the tack table in the back.
No, I'm just
grabbing the leg.
it against the leg.
Gotcha.
You have a full length Arca on the front of your Savage?
No, it's like a 8-inch or something. It's a little. It's an Alwine built.
The funny thing was what they were showing me. We were shooting the day before is how they grab that back leg. Like you don't want to pull it. you want to keep all those legs touching the ground. Mm-hmm. And I never really grasped that till we were shooting that. We had one position where I had to use a tripod, and it's right because you pull that up, then you're shaking because you're holding all of them to where you like to set it back down. It's got to be even. Mm-hmm. Which there's little tips, tricks of the trade.
Oh, you can do a ton of stuff with a tripod. You can even do a ton more with 2 tripods. But boy, you better know how to do it, or you're just going to time out. Every RO, when I got done with that stage, they'd be like, "Oh, we thought you were going to time out for sure." Like, oh, practice this a time or two. Like I worked on that 2 tripod.
How'd you do in that match?
I won factory. I was second overall by 1 point.
Oh shit! Who beat you?
Troy, this guy from the Midwest.
Okay.
I had some issues day 1. I had to sort. I cleaned day 2. I was the only person cleaning.
How many did you drop?
17. That was a lot.
That's not like you.
Once again, it was a lot of standing height shots at 900-yard type shots.
Small targets?
No backer on any target. Mm-hmm. It was just grass or reeds. The problem was almost every miss I had turned into 2 misses. Because when you're standing height off a tripod like that, I'm making a good shot, but there's enough recoil. I'm not seeing where I miss, where I hit. And so there was a ton of mirage. So you're fighting elevation. I mean, it was 90% humidity. It was stupid out there.
Perfect storm.
Yeah, it poured rain and then the sun came out. It was just nasty. And so almost every miss turned into 2, which is the worst case. Like it drives a guy nuts. But you miss. Generally when I miss, my next move is to go stronger wind call. And almost never was that right. It was an elevation issue or suddenly winded 180'd. So I was holding half mil right and I needed half mil left. And it is hard to pick that up in one shot when your bullet just went into grass behind it. So if your first shot hit, boom, 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 you clean the stage, no problem. But there were 3 or 4 stages where it was 2 positions, 2 targets. So I get to the first position, hit the first target. One, for instance, it was a ground squirrel at like 400 yards, hit it first shot. I'm like, boom, I got this stage because I knew my win. Next one was a ram's head, which wasn't real big at 600 or 700 yards. Hit it first shot. In my mind, I've cleaned the stage, no problem. There's 4 points. Move to the next position, missed a ground squirrel first shot with the same wind call. Had to hold the other side of it because the wind just switched. Go to the ram's head, change
back.
Exactly.
Missed again.
Miss it twice. One under and got my wind call and then zipped one just under. And you're just like, what do you? And that happened to me like 3 times where I cleaned my first position, moved to the second, and drop 1 or 2, and that drives me nuts. But staying in front of that kind of switch is tough.
And you guys nobody's harder on you guys than yourself. So I just noticed that with you and John.
Well, especially because it's so fucking competitive.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. They messed up and you could just fucking tell us burning them
We
up.
were the same way. We messed up a lot, so we were angry a lot.
Yeah, we fucked up.
Well, I should rephrase that. Ryan messed up a lot, so I was angry a lot.
Yeah, I get that.
What?
Just for the record, so everybody knows.
I think
you can't come back.
I'm fucking going first. You're going first next year. Damn! How do you know? Can you get through all 4? If you have a 4-position stage, can you get through all 4 with the tripod, with double tripods?
Yeah. Depending on depending on what's in the way.
And what were other people doing?
Single tripod.
Just fucking gripping and ripping?
Yeah, which that's great if you're shooting, the guy that beat me is shooting open heavy. He's shooting a full comp gun and in a whatever chassis, that shoots great off a tripod. First off, I can't even clamp in with my Savage on a balanced position on a tripod. So I'm trying to run it off a bag instead. And with that Tupperware stock, it's not a great balance point by any means. And so if I was going there with my open gun, I may be inclined to just run one tripod, but I know my limitation with the balance on that gun. I'm not good in that. And there had been a lot of talk of, hey, this is going to be a tripod match. And I'm going to bring 2 of them. I've carried 2 tripods to, I think, 5 matches now. Never once used it. And this last match, I think I did it 5 stages, something like that.
That's crazy.
It's kind of enough of this competition bullshit. Nobody cares. Should probably move on.
Oh, I do. One more question.
If you can get good at not even good, if you can get okay at shooting NRL hunters, it will make killing animals so much easier.
That was my main.
Yeah.
It's not even so before any of this competition, NRL Hunter, PRS, any of that, Carlock built me a 338 Edge. I killed a lot of animals with that, and I thought I was a really good shot until I found out I wasn't. And it wasn't from missing animals. I had to go shoot at smaller things. And once I started shooting at smaller things, I'm like, oh, maybe I'm not so great after all. And there's a lot of, I cannot tell you how many guys are like, oh, I'm going to bring my 338 Shy-Tech out to NRL Hunter. I'm going to wreck you guys. All right, see you there, buddy. Like, that'll be fun.
First of all, everybody's going to hate you because they're going to have to fix fucking targets. And B, you're going to get real tired of that fucker really fast.
Yeah. Or anything. But guys say all the time, I got a 300 rum. It never misses. Cool. Bring it to a match. It'll miss a lot.
Last question. You have to hit a power factor. So what is the perfect caliber for
So if you're shooting factor, you don't have to make power factor.
Okay.
If you're shooting skills, you don't have to make power factor. So which obviously skills, if you're going to your first NRL Hunter match, go shooting skills. You can watch other guys. People can help you.
I fought it. And if Tanya wouldn't said, you heard the whole, Tanya's coming,
That's
we're shooting
a cool
skills.
option.
Yeah.
Because it makes it so much less intimidating.
Yeah. Oh, I tell everyone do it. Like, I don't care.
And try to get with good shooters.
Yeah.
And John and Matt would love to take you through it. Just ask them.
Yeah, there you go. No, but it will help to learn.
So which is the class with the power factor?
So open heavy and open light both have power factor. It's 380,000, which is your bullet weight times bullet speed. You need to be shooting 135 grain bullet at least 28, I think 11 or something like that to make it with 135 grain bullet. If you go to a heavier bullet, it's real easy to make it. You know, if you're shooting 156.
Are you bringing up the 135 because guys are shooting 25 creeds or 25 PRCs?
Creeds and 6.5 creed. Like that's just that's the lightest bullet you're going to make it with.
147s?
No, 135.
135.
Oh,
135.
25 cal.
Yeah. So I shoot, when I'm shooting open, I shoot a 25 creed. When I'm shooting factory, I shoot a 6.5.
Are you using Peterson headstand brass? Are you foreman? You fire foreman brass or are you using Peterson?
I'm definitely not using Peterson. Do you guys sell that? Is it?
Yeah.
Speak your mind, sir.
Hey, if you got something to say about it.
Oh yeah, I bought a bunch of it. It sucked.
Really?
Yeah, I about threw a gun away, and then
headspace, consistency.
I could not tell you what it was, but I necked up some Lapua, and it took a 1-inch gun to a well under half-inch gun. I was like, oh, but one Alpha's making headstand brass now.
That one we don't sell.
Okay, well, I just got a bunch of that to try. I haven't tried it yet, so I don't have opinion on it yet.
Yeah,
but I have been taking Lapua brass and necking it up.
According to some people that we follow, Alpha seems to be, according to that person, the best brass in the fucking world.
It's good brass.
I'd be interested to see how it goes for you.
Yeah, I've shot their Dasher brass quite a bit. I've had good luck with it. Several buddies shooting their 6.5 Creed brass, and I think it's good brass. A Lapua is hard to beat. I mean, Lapua is the gold standard for brass. I generally try to stick to Lapua.
As somebody that buys a lot of Lapua brass, dude, we have not seen brass come in the last almost this year. Something's going on over there.
Yeah.
That brass is not being produced the way it normally is. That's for sure. I heard of a zinc shortage because of Ukraine, or it could be that because they're over there. Lapua is made in Europe, so they're being forced to push it all to war stuff.
I don't know. I do know though. So I shoot 6 in PRS. I shoot 6 Creed, and so then I necking up 6 Creed for my 25. Next thing you know, I'm like, crap, what's this brass go to? So that's why I've got the Alpha stuff to try, because it would be nice to have the right head stamp stuff.
For those of you up there that may not know necking up, necking down, you could take 6 Creedmoor brass, which is .243 bullet caliber. You can neck it up to .257.
Yep.
21st Century makes some badass expander mandrels where it's tapered down, so in one shot you can do your neck up.
Yep.
And that's pretty much the best way to do it.
Yeah, it's quick. That's what I'm doing, just necking it up with a mandrel. Yep.
Cool.
Sweet. What's next on my next? I got to bring up another topic.
Yes, sir.
Did we cover all the? I feel like there's a lot of gear a guy doesn't need.
Well, he's trying to block.
You got a gun. You got a scope. I want to make sure you got everything.
When he
you need.
gets out there,
I was
he drops
just talking shit.
He drops 100. When he drops 100 targets.
Go. Okay, so I don't think we missed much gear. I mean, so we got a calculator, we got glass, we have a rangefinder, we have a tripod, we have a rifle. Yep. We have a shooting bag.
Yeah, all right. Okay.
Yeah, to me, I just set myself up to shoot, and I was like, oh, that's pretty close to me.
Yeah, no, I think you got it all.
Seemed like, but another thing is backpacks seem to matter, to get into them.
Yeah, explain that, because I don't know much about it, but what I do, it's something about what you got to bring everything you're going to shoot. You got to be able to carry it, or what is the rule?
Generally, you're leaving your truck. You got to have all your stuff with you. They're not real it's not a weighing your gear. Like they weigh your gun, but whatever else, just what's in your backpack.
So 2, 3, 4, 7 tripods, whatever you need.
Take 2
he gets out there. He's freaking like, wait, he's got 40 tripods in this thing. He's just popping them out.
No, I have. First off, everything breaks on me. I destroy everything I own, whether it's shooting, driving, whatever. Avery understands this. Yeah. Okay. So I've got a bipod on my gun and one in my backpack. I've got 2 tripods. I've got 2 binos with a rangefinder in it. I've got an extra bolt for my rifle. I mean, I've got almost everything except for a spare scope in there.
Do you have an extra AccuTrigger?
AccuTriggers don't go down, buddy. I don't know if you guys can hear that knock on wood. Listen, you can make fun of it. That dang AccuTrigger, she just keeps on chugging.
Brian talks shit about every trigger. Don't worry about it.
It's fine.
The AccuTrigger actually doesn't.
I got mine, like, you can adjust it down pretty good. And
have you ever fucked around and just pulled the side of it and just
it just goes click and then lift your bolt, put it back down.
Yeah.
You don't want to be pulling the trigger from the side anyways.
Wow, my aunt, we were trying to get her to shoot an elk.
She kept pulling the side of it.
Pulling the side, and she was cussing like it was awesome.
Oh, goodness.
All right. Well, then we kept backpacks. You guys have switched to the 357 mag from Kafaru.
Yeah, it's perfect because it's got that tripod pocket on each side for 2 tripods.
And it's got a big horseshoe zipper, so they like rip it open when they get in there so they can grab everything.
Nice.
I switched to that 3-4 matches ago, and I'm really liking that bugger.
And knee pads.
Yeah, they won't hurt you.
Yeah. I noticed that Tanya was in fucking yoga pants and she wasn't loving it at the end.
Her black yoga pants were just brown with dirt. I felt bad. I mean, not that bad, but a little bad.
I like those pants those was a First Light.
Yep.
With the built-in knee pads.
Yep.
Those worked well.
And the big side vents for us husky fuckers that sweat.
Oh, yeah.
You wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
No, not the husky part. They call me the Slim Reaper for a reason. I'm just kidding. I'm trying to adopt that nickname.
Slim Reaper?
He's going to name himself. He name dropped it. Slim Reaper.
Hey, there's nothing like planting that seed.
No, that was Kevin Durant. They were calling him the Slim Reaper for a while. And I was like, oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was can't win a title without a partner.
Is that basketball reference? I don't watch that much basketball.
Yeah.
All right.
He needed to go to.
I thought that was a shot at me, and I'm like preparing to defend myself.
I saw him get all swelled up. You see that? He got all flustered. No, it wasn't a shot at you. All right. So I saw you fucking using a Vortex scope as a plunger. Do you want to defend yourself there, sir?
It was a big turd. I don't. What am I?
My question is, what's your beef with Vortex?
Oh, I don't have a beef with Vortex. I just like to poke the
dude.
I love to read all the comments on those when you fucking stir the shit.
Did you see?
I like to read the
the
comments.
The scope as a plunger in the toilet.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Just making sure you.
And then all the Vortex scope guys.
They're just so easy to get riled. It's like picking on your little sister. You just got to do it sometimes. I mean, they're so easy to pick on.
They are.
That and the First Light boys. You guys talking about those First Light pants? Bunch of it.
I wasn't a First Light guy either, but I did like the pants because he recommended. The pants were nice. The pants did work well.
This is an open air. This isn't a fucking.
We're not sponsored.
Millennials.
We're not sponsored by people.
Easily to offend, and if the people that are offended, that's their problem, not ours. So.
No. Go ahead. Vortex. Wait, on the Vortex or what?
All of it.
Oh, no,
you're going ahead.
You had a lot of shit going there. Vortex.
You're saying First Light. You're about to let it loose on First Light.
That whole conglomerate of liberals. I don't know what else to call them.
Yeah. Agreed.
What do you use when you go hunting?
QU stuff mostly now. Most of my life, whatever I can get at Walmart. I mean, I've hunted on a budget. Like Danner boots is when I splurge, and some 511 pants generally, but lately I've been wearing some QU stuff quite a bit.
511?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think, what am I? These are like Columbia pants I have on from Walmart right now. I mean,
you're not specific on your clothing.
No, if I'm buying something fancy, it's probably going to be QU, but yeah.
QU is hard to argue with because I do like QU. I actually like Sitka too. I like a lot of brands, but fucking Sitka just came out with a pair of pants that are just like the Katana QU pants. And they're fucking $289, and the Katana pants are $160. It's fucking not a hard choice, and they're very similar.
Yeah, I don't know. Most of the guys I know that wear Sitka, I got this neighbor kid. I'm not going to name him. I hope he listens to this.
You got to name him.
He knows who he is. His name's Zach.
I'm not going to name him. You got to name him. His name's Zach.
No last name.
Cloninger. I got no issue with that. Great kid. He killed a cougar actually on my property last year. I really appreciate it. Thing showed up and he shot it. It was great. But I think that was the first thing he ever killed. But man, he's got a Sitka wardrobe. And that's what I think
That's how he killed the cougar. The cougar couldn't see him.
Exactly. That's what I think of when I think of Sitka. I make fun of him all the time for his Sitka gear.
Yeah, I have Sitka gear too.
I do too. I got some Sitka stuff.
Yeah, I think Sitka and cougar they make really good stuff. It's just
I don't have like a great opinion or something to dwell. Like I don't know anything about clothes. Like I put them on. I'm no expert on it. The first light thing you mentioned, and then I had to make my liberal joke and move on. Now we're talking about clothes. I don't know anything about clothes.
You just wear them every day.
Exactly.
Well, maybe we should move on to MF. Some say Mountain Forge. Some say motherfucker. Tell us what's up with Mountain Forge. What is that?
What is that? No, old John Pinch and I, that's who you need to get on here. That's the OG of the shoot.
But you're bringing him.
Yeah, he's sick right now. Poor guy.
Real sick?
No, not real sick. I talked to him this morning. He's like, I've been in bed. I got a cold. I don't know. Not that sick.
I'm a big fucking baby when I'm sick. Too.
Yeah. No, he's a tough guy, but he's sick right now. Anyways, him and I just working on building some rifles, stuff like that. We get a lot of requests, especially John. I mean, John's about to finish his North American 29. If it's so hunting related, he's done it. Like,
yeah, we got to get him on and talk about that.
If it's shooting related, he's won it. Like, he's taught me how to shoot. I mean, he's the OG, and so
he's so mellow too.
Oh yeah. He's my yang to my yin, whatever you want to call it.
They are a motley crew to watch shoot together. Talk about polar fucking opposites.
Anyways, we get with his how many guys he knows in the hunting world. He just constantly is getting bombarded with guys. Hey, I need a rifle for this. Hey, I need it. And people know he can shoot. So people want his rifles type thing. And so, and then I'm starting to get that quite a bit too. You start winning a few matches. Guys know you can shoot. Hey, help me with this rifle. And so rather than
wait, you don't tell him Savage?
No, I do. Listen, if you want a factory rifle, Savages shoot, go buy one. But there are a ton of guys who want a custom rifle, and I'm tired of sending them to whoever else and having to do my stupid job to pay the bills. And John's mowing lawns to pay the bills. They're like, man, why don't we start helping these guys with some rifle stuff? So it's our shooting company. I think we're gonna sell some rifles. That's not gonna be our main gig. I think we're gonna go into training a lot. We're working on building a range up at my place where we can host maybe 10 guys at a time, lay them out, get their fundamentals down, run some mock stages. Again, that NRL Hunter type stuff. If you get that good at that type of shooting, that type of thinking on the clock, that type of looking at mirage real quick before you make a shot, you'll get a lot better at killing animals. And so that's what we want to work with, those guys that are looking at getting better at killing stuff. Not a PRS shooter that's constantly getting 15th and wants to win one. Like, we probably don't have what that guy we don't know how to teach him what he wants. You know, we want to teach the guys that are, you know, Ryan Avery's, like, they've killed a lot of animals but aren't that great a shot. Let's actually make him a good shot.
Fuck's sakes.
I agree. I'm glad we're on the same page.
That sounds like a bet between me and Jake.
Now we're getting on what I can get into.
We'll swing by that at the end.
All right.
So anyways,
so if somebody wants to get a Mountain Forge rifle, how do they go about getting a hold of you?
You find us. We got an Instagram page. We have a website that was up, and our hosting did not like that it was gun related, so it's down.
Known host is what I use.
No.
We got a guy on it.
Well, I know a guy that loves guns that has host. That's where we host.
Gotcha.
Because we kept getting shut down. And no,
you saying known host is no good? I'm
just saying that those kind of places can take your shit down.
You talk about stuff people don't want to hear about.
Yeah, every day I hear it. AR15.com, one of the biggest. GoDaddy decided to kill them, and then everybody was scrambling, and we had to move a bunch of people to
anyway, so hopefully within the next few days we're gonna have a website
back up.
Yeah. But Instagram, or message me on Instagram, John on Instagram, whatever.
Do you have an Instagram page for Mountain Forge?
Yeah.
Okay. And it does. It's MF. So 2 motherfuckers own it.
There you go.
Carbon barrels. We have the same thought process on carbon barrels. Is everybody should shoot steel.
Yeah, and yet I still shoot carbon all the time.
Well, you're hitting a weight factor and probably a few things.
But you could hit it with a fluted steel just as easy, but it's not available from Savage.
I know why.
You guys have been saying that wrong, by the way. It's Savage.
I know.
Are you serious? Is it really?
When I shoot it, it is.
I make that bitch sing.
Is that French?
Oh man.
I know why I don't like carbon barrels. Why don't you like carbon as a whole?
They just have issues.
You can't have like blanket statements like that. Like I don't like carbon barrels. Not.
I'm asking him.
I like carbon barrels less. How about that? I've had some carbon barrels I like, but I've had some carbon barrels I really hate.
On average, do you see that steel barrels just shoot better than carbon?
For sure. And you look at it. I mean, have you ever seen an F-class guy with a carbon barrel on?
Yeah.
No, that's a real question. I don't know anything about F-class, but
I
don't think so.
Yeah.
But there's also not.
No one at a PRS match is shooting a carbon barrel. We are NRL Hunter because it's hunting guys coming over.
I was about to say, you're describing all the competitions that have nothing to do with weight. As soon as you start talking about weight.
Yeah,
because in here when we're selling rifles, guys come in and I tell them, like nowadays, Bartline, Benchmark, cut rifled carbon barrels, they don't take a lot of meat off anymore. The weight savings for a carbon barrel is almost non-existent with a cut rifled carbon barrel.
Yeah, no, they just look cool.
Yeah, so you're going to save a few ounces. Point. The aesthetics of a carbon barrel is very appealing to the first time $6,000 custom rifle purchaser. It is. They look good. We actually just painted. We Cerakoted a carbon barrel on a badass build. We just did a reel on it, and it looks sick.
Yeah. No, guys want carbon because it looks cool. I mean, what you guys had, I listened to part of your Gunworks podcast on here, and that's hey, the market wants it, so that's what we produce.
Mm-hmm. It is.
And they don't shoot as good.
What's the price difference from you?
We have so generally a steel barrel is $350. You want to add flutes, it adds $150 ish. So benchmark carbon barrel is $800 today.
Yeah. And I tell guys, I mean, this is the phone call I have all the time, and I'll tell guys, like, let's do a spiral fluted. I love a spiral fluted barrel. Okay. Guys want a custom look on their gun. They think carbon looks custom. No, carbon looked custom 10 years ago. Yep. Name a manufacturer now that isn't making a carbon barrel. A major, I'm Savages, whatever. Dude,
two-tone spiral fluted barrel looks sick.
Yes, they do.
Oh, it does. Yeah, exactly.
And it's a very time-consuming, laborious process to tape off flutes and paint. But
that's a custom look. It looks great. No. So that's what my 6.5 PRC that I carry for deer, bear, whatever. It's a spiral fluted. It looks great.
Yeah.
And I'll have this phone call with guys all the time. Hey, this is what I want. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, let's do a spiral fluted barrel. I want to make this weight. No, I want it to be light. Yeah, the spiral fluid's going to be lighter than a carbon. Oh, well, actually, I kind of like the look of carbon, though. Yeah. I'm like, okay, well, which one shoots better? Probably the spiral fluted. Oh, man, I sure like the look of that carbon better,
from a rifle manufacturer's,
end up buying a carbon barrel.
From a rifle manufacturer's perspective, like if we build it, whatever the barrel that the customer chooses, if we say, oh, it's going to shoot half MOE or better, well, whether we put a steel barrel or a carbon barrel on there, the end consumer doesn't have to deal with whether the barrel shoots or not. In other words, we're not just going to give him the rifle with a bad shooting carbon barrel. Now it's on us. So from the consumer,
I'm pausing for effect.
From the consumer standpoint, if they prefer the aesthetics of a carbon barrel, then dude, all the more power to you. And then we tell you it's going to shoot, and if it doesn't shoot, we're going to make it right. So it's not their problem anymore.
How many shot group is it going to shoot?
We don't specify. I think the general population consensus on a group is 3 shots. Yeah. If you were to poll all the shooters in the country,
they're going to say
when you speak of a group for accuracy, it's a 3-shot group.
Yeah.
Now, I know that most manufacturers are moving to larger groups to show consistency over the heating up of the barrel and what the barrel's going to do over time and all that kind of good shit. And I get it. And it does make sense. I'm not saying 3-shot groups are great, but I'm just saying that this is really just about the consumer. The guy that's buying the rifle, the guy you're talking to on the phone, yeah, if he wants they come in here and I'll tell them steel barrel's better. And if they want carbon, they're going carbon.
Right.
And it's not their fucking problem at that point. Though.
Right.
It's our problem.
And that's why I don't like them, because it's my problem.
That's why we need to continue to have these conversations on 3-shot groups and fucking barrels.
So here's the problem is I can get a fine group with that carbon barrel, okay, and a 3-shot group, and maybe I'll shoot a fairly slow 3-shot group. Shoot one, wait a minute, shoot one, wait 2 minutes, whatever. it just shot a fine 3-shot group. Well, let's go shoot a fast 8-shot group of that sucker. And the first one's low, and the next one's higher, and the next one's higher, and the next one's higher.
That's
and
also not a realistic hunting situation.
I know,
a fast
but
8-shot group.
Yeah.
We have this talk about zeros. Like there's a difference between a competition zero and a hunting zero.
I've seen some pretty bad hunters out there throwing some lead.
We got to get his thought on this.
That's just a bad hunter.
Oh, I'm just saying there's a lot
that's
of guys
more
out
fucking
there
realistic
sending
than
a lot
people
of lead.
think.
Yeah.
Like every year I say, oh fuck.
Well, here, I'm going to ask the question before you fill his head.
Hold
with
on,
nonsense.
let me go with one more thing on this carbon thing though. I see more cold bore shift with carbon than I do with steel, and that's the shot that counts. And I'm not talking big, but I'm talking a 10th or two. Okay, so if your first shot is generally a 10th low or generally a 10th high, are you now zeroing for that first shot, or are you zeroing for where your group goes?
A 10th for most guys is nothing.
Yeah, but it's still,
we're not all Matt, all
it's
wine.
still something though.
And this will be interesting because he is like
He already said it.
a different.
He already said it.
Okay, Matt, we shoot a 10-shot group, cold bore. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Every morning you wake up, you go shoot the rifle at the same target.
This is
ambient rifle,
cold bore. This is hot.
Okay. He's drawing a picture for me, folks.
Yep. If we shoot 10 shots, we're drawing it real slow.
Fucking art is horrible.
Yeah.
It comes down to a basic question. Do you think a hot barrel zero would be different than a cold barrel zero over a 10-shot period?
Carbon barrel, steel barrel.
Both.
I think it's more likely to be different with a carbon barrel.
But probably different with a steel also.
This is 1.5 inches.
I'm talking about your fine zero like you're ready to go hunt.
It all align in that 1.5 inches. Are you changing zeros?
You see, you framed the question wrong.
No,
I'm trying to.
Are we changing zero?
This feels like a lover's quarrel.
Would you zero your hunting rifle by shooting 10 shots in a row, hot barrel, and then centering that group? Or would you prefer a cold bore barrel zero over 10 shots, one every morning?
I would prefer the cold bore.
Thank you.
For hunting.
Okay, but
that's the question.
What if they're relatively the same?
Well, then what's the issue?
That's what's going to happen.
No, he's speaking in tenths. It will be a 10th difference.
I will give him this.
Guaranteed.
Well,
and if it's left and right, I don't care.
If you shoot it again, it's going to be a different 10-shot group.
That's okay.
It's going to shoot into a cone. My question is, he's right. If you shoot a carbon barrel, it's going to be way more finicky than a steel barrel.
Well, yes. Are you guys going to do this test for me?
Yes.
Perfect. I love it.
However, what I'm trying to tell it, like you're speaking in tenths, like zeros varying by a tenth, right?
I should be speaking in MOA.
No. I just mean that there's a difference, right? So, a tenth for people out there is basically a third of an inch. We're going to call it a third of an inch.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So there will be a 1/10 of an inch difference between a 10 cold barrel shot zero versus a hot barrel zero. There will be. It would be miraculous for them to be the same.
Yeah, but I wonder if it's not going to be more. 2/10.
I think it'll be more.
Yeah.
But what if you shoot
again? If it's left and right, I don't care at all.
More vertical dispersion.
I'm not good at calling wind. Well, I'm okay at calling wind, but I'm not amazing at it. No one's that good at calling wind, is what I'm saying. But I hate vertical in a rifle. Hate it.
What's the adjective to describe somebody who's really good at something but says they're not? Well, we were talking about adjectives earlier. So what is?
I barely went to school. You're talking to the wrong guy on this.
I'm saying you're a badass shooter who wins competitions, but you're going to sit there and say you ain't good at calling wind.
I mean, I'm saying I'm not calling wind within a 10th.
Yeah, definitely.
That's why I don't care if my zero's got a 10th.
A 10th of wind in it. Okay.
Exactly.
There will be more than a 10th of vertical in this test.
What is a 10th at 100 yards?
0.33.
0.36.
Or 0.36.
Yeah, 0.36. A third of an inch. That's why I said a third of an inch.
And are you building the carbon or no?
Jessica, it's carbon. No. It's spiral fluted steel. Spiral fluted steel.
You guys, I mean, like, if you just a killer shooting gun for this, like you need a gun that never is leaving half inch.
That's what we do here.
Okay, that's what everyone says.
We need to do this.
Haven't had a battle one yet.
We need to do this, and you need to do this.
I'll go do it tomorrow.
Let me know what you come up with. Post it online,
dude. I'm telling you.
I also want now he threw another curveball.
I would put big money on it.
Well, we're gonna have to have a double.
There
bet
will be more.
We're already gonna be in a shooting competition together.
Oh yeah.
Carbon. You throw a carbon in, it's gonna be fucking way worse.
Yes.
So you admitted that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. we all are in agreement. Why do people keep wanting carbon barrels? That's all I'm saying.
We got to start this. 3-shot groups suck, and carbon barrels move to steel.
Carbon is pretty.
And I do.
When we build a custom rifle, a carbon barrel looks better.
Spiral fluted steel.
It does look good.
There's a lot of cool flutings a guy can do now that looks good.
Yes.
And Mike will hate us for this, but when he flutes them up and he does that Cerakoting.
My spiral fluted one, it's like a gunmetal gray, and then the chassis green and gunmetal camo, and then I've got green flutes on it.
It looks sick.
They look good.
Yeah.
And another thing people like carbon for is they can put 5/8 on pretty much every carbon barrel.
I like the girth.
Yeah, no,
you like the BBC?
I like the girth of the carbon barrel.
But you could take a steel barrel. Okay, here's an example. Buddy of mine that actually just shooting with him this last weekend. He has got a full comp. Picture this gun, full comp contour proof barrel. I mean, she's full girth. Okay?
Carbon,
steel. Full girth.
What's the muzzle OD?
Like that size?
Close to that.
Okay, so a truck axle.
1.2 probably.
1.2 all the way. Yeah. 1.2 straight.
Yeah, it's girth. Okay. He has got this in a Hunt 26 with a triple pull.
That motherfucker's hitting every wall.
Hold on.
Every fucking wall.
This guy.
Pushing.
Yeah. This guy's a shoot. He got second or third overall at this match.
Nice.
You're kidding me.
He's shooting that in the open light division.
How?
He has that honeycomb fluting on it.
Deep.
It is lighter than a proof carbon, and that thing is girth.
Mm-hmm.
And that gun hammered. I've shot it. I've watched him warm it up. It doesn't walk. That barrel shoots. And there's an example of girth without carbon. That's the only reason I was going over this.
Yeah.
So there are some options out there. You can do some heavy spiral fluting. You can pull weight out of a barrel and keep it thick without having glue touching your barrel. I mean, why do we float barrels back in the day in all our stocks? Because you don't want anything touching your barrel. Nah, forget that. Let's just glue crap around the barrel instead.
Yeah.
By the way, we make carbon barrel rifles.
Yeah.
Those guys want them.
And the people get mistaken. It's not the carbon that's fucking, it's that resin.
Exactly.
That resin is fucking flexible, and it fucking heat sinks, man. It holds heat. So,
are you done ranting now?
No,
I love a good carbon barrel rant.
I just think that we need to put the education out there. 3-shot groups are gay.
For those of you that are looking at buying
barrels,
rifles, there are carbon barrels that shoot fantastic.
My best shooting gun ever is a proof 28 Nosler.
Both of my personal rifles.
I won last weekend with a carbon barrel. I've won probably 6 matches this year with carbon barrels.
Just if you're looking to eliminate variables and possibly produce the best shooting gun that you can have built for you or build, generally a steel that's one material throughout is going to shoot better than one that has 3 different materials: carbon fibers, resin, and steel.
I love this voice of reason over here while we're just
I have to be
spewing opinions, and he's like, here's some facts though, folks.
Yeah.
Well, and the truth's
it's
probably
3 different materials versus one. So and most people don't know how they believe, like, when the average consumer sees a carbon barrel, they believe it's manufactured that way. Right? They don't know that you actually took an entire steel barrel once it was complete. Then you took a bunch of material out of the section with a fucking cutting blade. Then you wrapped it with carbon, poured resin on it, wrapped something around it, cured it, and then spun it again so that you could sand it smooth. Now, when I put it in that way, then you're like, oh, will that shoot better? Or will the one that you never fucking adulterated?
It's called tolerance stacking. That's what they did to that barrel.
Yep. But if you just think about it mechanically.
Yeah.
If you have any type of mechanical mind, just let me take a straight steel barrel that shoots great. Or then let me take, this one that we...
I've been to 2 factories. One that use monofilament like proof, one Christensen Arms, and they are vastly different. And you're like, how do these fuckers even shoot straight at all?
But all that being said, there are carbon barrels that shoot well. And if we build you a rifle,
don't shoot well.
If we build a rifle to no munitions, even if it's a carbon barrel, if it doesn't shoot, we still have to.
No, listen, same for us, and that's why. Like, I got quite a few guns sitting back in my place that never went out the door because I never got them quite where I wanted. Here's another. You know what? Since we're on the carbon barrel thing, and since you guys make muzzle brakes, and I got one in my hand here, let's talk about this. You're gonna like this one. Carbon barrels are much more finicky to the weight on the end of them from what I've seen.
Absolutely. Because it's not consistent harmonics at that point, just like we're talking about. The harmonics vary.
Yeah. There was a week in my life where I hated your guys' brakes because I had 4 6.5 PRCs, carbon barrels, should have been great shooters, would not shoot with a light brake on. And I was kind of blaming your guys' brake. Well, I put a different light brake on, still wouldn't shoot. Threw suppressor on there, they went from 1.5-inch guns to 1/2-inch guns. And then that's what remember me calling you saying, hey, why don't you guys offer some of these in stainless? Yeah. And then, you put it just needed 4 ounces out there instead of 1 ounce. Yeah. And that fixed the problem. But steel barrels don't seem to have that finickiness to changing the weight on the end of them.
Because you don't change the harmonics, basically. Yeah. You're interrupting the structure of the steel to add some other shit. It's not going to wave the same way. Yeah.
And I don't have some good scientific whatever for this. This is just my opinion from what I've seen.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I guess if you go through load development on a right, well, that's why they're trying to sell tuner brakes and shit too. Now, you're not going to add 4 ounces on the end of a fucking barrel with a tuner brake, but the idea is there. And there's a lot of for and against tuner brake shit right now. Mm-hmm. But
just having the weight out there, I shoot a tuner brake because generally the more weight on the end of the barrel, the better it'll shoot. Mm-hmm. So let's just throw some weight out there.
Well, from a hunting perspective, we're not trying to throw a bunch of extra fucking weight on it. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we beat that fucking horse.
Well, now we have a complete variety of stainless and TI. I
love
every configuration
there you go.
That you can buy. That was really just for you.
Mm-hmm. The carbon truth.
We can start a whole podcast series on, we'll call it the carbon truth. We'll just badmouth things made out of carbon. I don't know there's anything else I don't like made out of carbon.
How about a fore end with Arca rail built into it that you put all the pressure of your rifle on, built out of carbon? How's that sound?
Done pretty well with that, so I'm gonna.
Yeah. Hey, we're talking shit about carbon. That's what you just said.
No, I know.
Oh, there's lots of good carbon.
Were you talking about a Christensen chassis, or were you talking about something else?
Yeah, that one.
They don't have a carbon chassis.
What? The fore end on the Christensen's carbon.
On the new modular.
The aluminum on the.
No, he's talking about the new modular deal.
What?
The modular chassis
MPA?
rifle. No.
The Christensen, yeah.
The new hotness from Christensen.
The new one. Are you talking about the old one?
No, I'm just talking about the old one that's been around forever.
It's a carbon. It is carbon rail. Carbon.
The whole front's carbon.
We were going to start a new product line making rails out of carbon.
You are?
No, talking shit.
Oh, I again, we talk a lot of shit about carbons, but I've had some fantastic shooting ones. Yes. They're just finicky. I just want people to know they are finicky.
Yeah. I got lots of guns I love that have carbon barrels, but I've seen lots that I hate with carbon barrels too.
And you got a carbon chassis you love.
I do.
I hear you bed them.
Oh, I've been known to. I'll bet anything.
That's the little bed.
Forget betting. I got Jake with that.
Anything.
I'll glue them together. I don't care.
Yeah.
AI's been doing something right. AI's been doing something right for a long time with that.
Oh, I think there's truth to that.
Glue it together.
Well, the zero movement is the best movement.
Exactly.
Here's another topic that I've recently read about that I fucking hate reading things that make my brain hurt.
I just hate reading, so you're ahead of me.
What's the optimum fucking barrel torque spec?
Oh, putting the barrel on the action?
Yeah, what's your foot pounds? How many?
Well, the proper response in this situation is it's up to the action manufacturer.
That's a cop-out, but go ahead, Matt.
It is, because 1 1/16 threads versus 1 1/18, 16 TPI versus 18 TPI, everything changes the torque spec. The shoulder that's on the barrel changes the torque spec. The material that it's made out of changes the torque spec. So it is up to the manufacturer's recommendation.
What's bats?
I think they're doing 80 foot-pounds, but don't fucking... That is not a quotable number, because my smith is not... I'm not a gunsmith. I have guys that know what the fuck they're doing. Mm-hmm. But I believe it's like 75 or 80 foot-pounds, something like that. I could be really wrong, though. It could be inch pounds. I'm close. So wrong, it could be inch pounds.
Oh, it's foot pounds.
It's 80 foot pounds.
80 foot pounds.
Are you asking Mountain Forge, Matt, or
I'm asking what is Mountain Forge sending theirs out?
Well, I would say that both Matt Alwine and I, Mountain Forge and Munitions, neither of us actually build rifles. So yes. we have guys that know what they're doing to do that shit.
You could walk out and ask them, though.
I could.
No, I mean, I put a lot of my own barrels on for...
What do you put yours on?
Generally 80.
80 foot pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's if a torque wrench is handy.
Well, I was about to say torque wrench.
There's a good chance it went on with a crescent wrench.
Even if you don't, you can bring another if you don't use the proper action wrench for your action, that will fuck with your torque spec. So in reality, 80 foot-pounds is probably the optimal number, but everything has to be kosher. The socket has to fit the action wrench right. Your torque spec has to be calibrated. There's a lot of things that go into this rather than just say, 80 foot-pounds.
But if we're talking about, like, I'm setting a rifle for a match, I'm leaving tomorrow, it's about that tight, and away we go.
It's half-inch drive ratchet tight.
Yeah, or a crescent wrench if I can't find the half-inch.
What do you use for a barrel vise? The Short Action Customs one?
You using Loctite?
No,
Nobody uses Loctite.
Tika does.
It's not I don't have the set. I have I don't know. It's
you
like
actually put anti-seize.
Yeah, anti-seize, not Loctite.
It's the opposite of Loctite.
Oh,
unless it's a Tika. I think they put Loctite.
There's a Loctite or something on a Tika.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I'd be more likely to put anti-seize on than.
Well, I mean, I think if we put lug nuts on, there's 5 of them. We're putting on 115.
Well, the reason for the anti-seize is because you have whenever you have similar metals.
I put tires on for a living. I know all about anti-seize.
Good deal.
115, we got 5 fucking lug nuts, and we're putting on 40. People are putting on 40
lug nuts are 120 foot-pounds.
And there's 5, 6, 8 of them.
Yeah.
And we're tire stores between a 90 and 150.
120 is literally directly in the middle of your numbers.
So I'm just saying it's all over the map. But we're putting fucking barrels on at 40. Some people.
No.
It seems like not very much.
No.
To be honest with you, it doesn't matter as long as it doesn't come loose.
I think I used to always put my barrels on at 100, and someone's like, "You're only supposed to do 80," and I backed them off.
The whole idea behind an inch-pound torque on a ring, the idea is that you don't. If you go too much, you'll weld the two fucking metals together, and then it's not coming back off, and you don't want to ruin your $2,000 action or your barrel that you just put on. It's really about not welding the two similar metals together. It doesn't need to be good. It just has to not move.
You know? What do you do your scope caps to? Since you got that in your hand.
Well, it's funny because those are we built 7 revisions of that hinge ring right there. The reason why is because I continued to torque those to 25 inch-pounds on the top. And that was the problem. They are 15 inch-pounds. At 25 inch-pound, you start to fold those ears together and you actually bend and remove the surface area tension. At 15 inch-pounds, those hold a 33XC and pass the drop test.
Really?
Yes.
What about
but I fucked it up.
So I feel like I loosened that with my fingers.
15 inch-pounds?
Yeah.
Well, just like any other torque. I mean, the standard torque, 20 inch-pounds is kind of a standard, right? So what's the difference between fucking 15 and 20? What does Vortex say to do?
I don't know. 15, Leopold's, I think, 18. Are 25 maybe. Does that sound right?
But we're literally talking about 15 to 25 inch-pounds. This is like nothing.
So then I do 30. These are 25. I do 30 then.
Exactly.
The difference between ordinary and extraordinary sounds
that
like
goes back to
But if you go barrels. 5 over on those, you're counterintuitive at this point.
Interesting.
And it took 7 revisions at very expensive prototypes to figure that out.
How many times have you had a wheel come off when you're driving down the road? Just driving along and a wheel comes off. Yeah, because I have like 6 times.
Well, you and Ryan both have bad luck.
So
it's called
6
karma.
Times?
Yes.
What the fuck?
It's always the front
left. Did you
left,
put the fucking wheel on or somebody else?
I've had both. Les Schwab, myself, Tire-Rama, whatever. I've had, I think, 6 wheels come off rolling down the road.
So when you do your initial torque.
I'm just saying, crap just comes loose. And so I like that little extra.
Because you got to, it's not the initial torque. It's the second time you torque it. The initial torque is going to give you some bolt stretch. There may be some materials in there that are inhibiting the proper torque. The taper seated surface or shouldered surface might not made up properly. There's actually, if you're building engines, if you're building a 6-cylinder inline diesel engine, there are torque specs that are torque to yield. In other words, you would torque them to 120 foot-pounds and then it's plus 90 degrees because you're stretching that bolt. And then you have to hammer the top of the bolt because it's only allowed to do that 5 times. This is just giving you an example on different types of torques. But when you initially torque, it's not always the exact torque you think it is. It's the second time. So you need to torque it, back it off, and torque again.
Interesting.
Do we do that to barrels?
No, but barrel torque is not a critical torque. It's only important the barrel doesn't move. So even if it came from 80 back to 62, it's not going to come loose.
I've had, I don't know what they started. I've had 2 barrels come loose. It's one of the reasons I was asking.
Yeah.
But
I never had. There
was I'll find the link. They were bumping them at 40 and they were changing impacts at 40 foot-pounds. So
40 seems really light.
It does seem light.
Yeah. Well, so does 15 inch-pounds.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know on that shit. That shit does boggles my mind that this is 25 and those are 15.
Yeah.
But that's got a bigger footprint with less screws.
But it works.
It's a cool little ring. It's the first time I've seen that in person.
It is a cool. Yeah. And those are the new ones. Those clamp directly to the top of the Tika. You got that action behind you?
You think you took it? Took it somewhere.
Those levels, dude, they're fucking. So we did a Tika level 2 that clamps to the top of the Tika action, and it puts it in that same position. That level is so nice in that spot for your eye.
No, it's
fucking awesome.
Yep. No, we run level down there a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I run those for comps. If I can make weight, I run those electronic levels.
No.
With I just went blank on the name of it. He makes it's essentially a piece that comes around and goes under your eye, so the lights for the levels right in your eye socket there, and it so is you can see sweet
it when you're looking down the tube.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I guess we need to pick a new topic. What about what cartridge are you going to hunt with this year, and what's your generally preferred cartridge or rifle configuration?
I'll probably run my 6.5 PRC for bears, deer, and then I got a couple elk tags. I'll probably run a 300 Norma.
Okay, so you're a bigger is better guy.
Nancy.
Yeah, slow and steady. I might run a PRC, 300 PRC, but probably a Nancy, and I'll run it slow. So I'll run it at wisdom speeds.
Yeah. So slow and so use a bigger cartridge to slow the bullet down.
Just so I'm not trying. Just so I don't have to step on it at all. Where you guys probably. You guys run stuff hotter than me, I know.
What about just plus peeing just to lower your peak case pressure there and just run normal?
Dramatic pause.
Thinking about my thoughts.
Just say whatever you want.
No, I don't. I haven't spent enough time with plus P to know.
So plus P is generally lowering peak chamber pressure by treating the rifling out in front of the throat. Right. So if you can do that, you don't have to add the 100 feet per second. As soon as you perform that operation, whatever ammo you were shooting is going to decrease, but you're going to lose 100 feet per second.
Gotcha. So then you're building it back. But
you can still keep your case full. Use those standard powders. Generally, when you want to run something slower than normal, the normal powders for that cartridge don't apply anymore.
Yeah.
So like if you wanted to use N570 and a 300 Norma, you want to keep that case fill up, and you want to still, so you can technically lower your velocity without messing with your powder choice, charge.
And when I say shooting slower, I'm just saying slower than you guys. I'm not shooting slow. Like if I find I'm shooting a 300 Norma, let's say shooting 215 burgers. What speed are you going to throw?
Barrel length?
24.
24 is going to do 3,100 feet a second.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot that at 2970 probably.
It can do 31 though.
Yeah, it can.
Yeah.
Probably be a little more finicky.
You're not going to take your 308 Wolf gun?
Oh no, that'll stay in the truck. I mean, she'll be ready. That's more of the archery season. Keep it around in case you see wolves type gun. I don't really not taking that.
Well, we're fucking at an hour and 18 minutes, so
it was fun, man.
Talking shit flies by.
It just zips right on through.
What did we learn?
I don't know if there was any useful
torquing my barrels to 100 with Loctite.
This podcast is not about learning.
We learned a lot. All right. Any parting shots, Matt? At anything? Anybody?
I can think of so many. I'm just
now's your chance.
Send it.
I got nothing.
That's the best part. You say what you think.
Yeah, I felt like I got all my shots in there.
Well,
I little things for what's the name from Gunworks for my adjustable cheek riser for not knowing how to shoot. We had a good little vortex joke in there. I think we hit them all.
Nice.
And the first light even. I already got them all in.
Oh, what do you think about airlines?
Which ones?
you were stuck.
Well, normally I'm a Delta fan, but the 30 hours I just spent in Minneapolis has me considering my life choices.
I flew a lot of Delta miles.
It is better than Peasant Air, dude.
Oh, no. Yeah. It's the least of many evil options, really.
Jake?
All good. Thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
To get a hold of us, it's podcast@shoottohunt.com. That's with the number 2, not the letters 2. And we're on Instagram at shoot to hunt. Thanks for listening.